Hello and welcome to episode 75 of the MisanthroPod. I am Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Whip. Say hello.
Hello there.
And I am also joined by Drumblebum. Say hello.
Hello there.
Oh, hello. Very good
trend
projection, kind of good trend going on. How are you, lovely gentlemen, today?
Doing okay. Doing okay considering both of us spent the last week mostly dying of the dreaded lurgy.
The flu. The murder flu.
I don't know if it was flu, but it was fucking horrible, whatever it was.
Yeah.
How are you, Matt?
I'm better than you guys sounded last week.
Yeah. That's why this podcast is a few days late. Because, we weren't good.
Oh.
But
You're both feeling a bit better now.
Yes. If you suddenly hear muting, that will be because we've muted it so we can cough up a lung, but, it's probably okay.
Yeah.
How are you, though, Snipe?
I'm feeling better. Interested to see how this podcast goes, seeing as, yes, we are on the death throes of an illness, and also it's hecking warm in here.
Yes. For some reason, uncomfortably warm today. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think, got a couple of bits of news to go out. Wib, I will defenestrate you if you don't do it now.
Okay, well, I guess I best do it then.
Yeah.
What a lot of people listening to this are probably new-ish people. Because
Hi.
Yes, hello new people. Because we've had our most recent Codex Compliant has done. Well, how can I put this?
It has pleased the algorithm.
It has pleased the algorithm, and we have suddenly shot up like 5k subs. By the time you hear this, we will probably be at 20k subs. So hello new people. I hope you enjoy your stay in the brief time before we say something controversial and you decide you hate us. And by controversial, I mean, I don't know, something like representation is important, or, I don't know, Nazis are bad.
Thanks for the dislikes!
But, that's just whatever happens whenever you get a bunch of new people in, so that's fine.
No, that's fine.
But most of you are probably nice, so hi.
Yes,
Yeah,
so hello to all the nice people who stick around. We're sorry about this podcast, it's just, this is what it is now.
Yeah, we're not sorry about having controversial opinions, we're just sorry about existing, I guess.
We're just sorry about whatever this is. But yeah, so that's done phenomenally well, the new Codex Compliant.
No, it's pretty amazing, because occasionally, this has happened twice in our YouTube careers, TM, and that did kind of make me want to retch saying it. I'm sorry.
It's horrible admitting you're a YouTuber.
I just like saying I'm a content creator, because YouTuber has such a fucking stigma. It's like I was in a pub, and this lady who was fucking drunk as fuck showing me her dinosaurs, which I'm not making up. She actually did.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, she was amazing. It was in Ryan's bar in town, the Irish pub. And she was like, so what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I make videos on the internet. And she was like, what? Really? And I'm like, yes. Unity was literally stood behind us, and I could just tell that he was really enjoying watching me just fuck up a conversation.
Well, we were watching you dig a hole where you were effectively telling a strange person that you did porn.
Yeah, which is
without meaning to.
Which is totally cool if that's what you do, but that's not what I do, and I panicked and I just didn't want to say the dreaded no word YouTuber. I was like,
amazing.
I was like, I make videos on the internet.
You're just desperately trying to avoid someone going, oh, like PewDiePie, and you have to force the wretch
then
back.
I have to headbutt them to death.
That is the best solution to that situation.
Well, I mean, if anyone can think of a better one than headbutting somebody to death, I'd like to hear it.
But anyway, video's done really, really well.
Yeah, no. So it's really nice having a big flood of new peeps and everyone enjoying our Codex Compliance and stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, the next one, because it's the 10th one, It's also one that's going to be quite a big one. So basically, I've had no time between finishing the previous one, editing, then going into like the research and writing process of the next one, and just having like the time where I'd normally have a tiny break from work.
You were sick.
I was sick, so my holiday was being sick.
Yay! Self-employment is awesome.
So yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. Also, there's some more fun news in the 40k front.
Yes.
So Drummer Matt, like some of you might recognize his voice. That beautiful set of dulcet tones he has.
Because Drummer Matt's been off, cheating on us.
I have.
A harlot.
Appearing on other podcasts without us. Well, not podcasts, YouTube
not a
channels.
podcast.
He's been literally speaking to other people, and this we cannot abide.
So tell us about your
Indiscretion!
Not sure I want to now. I assume everyone listening knows Alphabusa. And
He
knows
owns us as an entity.
as
all of us.
yeah, he is our parent company.
Yes, as an alpha
And also
bus,
our
he
parents,
is. Yeah, he
I
is.
think.
He is like the ultimate daddy. That sounds weird. Alpha
Yeah.
bus, please don't think I'm being weird.
whilst we
Anyway.
simultaneously are also his daddy.
Yeah.
He has a series on the YouTubes called Bro Trip, and I may have been in the second episode of it,
Yes.
It's a good
voicing
it's a
the
good
very
episode.
excellent Clancy.
Clancy, I think, is the best character in 40k.
I think he might be.
Yeah, I mean, Sire Matilda's pretty up there, but Clancy, oof.
Yeah, I mean,
He's great.
he counts lasguns and he wants to kill a Primarch, and that's
I mean, like,
noble
that's,
goals.
That's an honest life to live. I respect Clancy.
So thanks, the Alpha Bus, for asking me. It was mildly terrifying before I did it, because I've not done, aside from various times reading out questions for your Q&A episodes, I've not really done anything even close to voice acting before.
Yeah, it's terrifying, isn't it, when you're not a voice actor?
Yeah. And yeah, I like I said, not done it before, so I can't compare Alpha Booster to anyone else, but he did a very good job of making me feel mildly less terrified. So,
Yeah, he only
Thank
punched you in the legs like 3 times in the first few minutes. Which
I
is
mean, he
pretty
couldn't
good.
be there, so he had to command you to punch yourself in the legs, but,
yeah.
Yes.
But,
you know. But he's got a very commanding voice, so you do it anyway.
He does, yeah, and you're like, oh shit, I guess I'm gonna punch my kneecaps off. Because, you know,
Gotta
that
happen.
is what the Alpha Bus as an entity requires.
But yeah, so if you haven't watched it yet, then go off and watch Bro Trip, the spin-off from If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device. And here, our wonderful, esteemed drummer Matt here.
yeah. Episode
In-
2.
in
I mean,
episode-
which is
episode
just
2.
the one that
Don't
was
watch
released about a
episode
week
1.
ago.
No one cares.
No, watch them both.
No, of course. I'm just being a twat. But no, I did watch it, and I think you did an amazing job. It was incredibly entertaining and very well done. It was lots of fun to watch.
Despite me.
You want me to fight you?
No, despite him.
Despite-
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't have my hearing aids in. I was like, you,
casually sitting there advertising a thing, and I'm just like, yeah, fight me.
to be
Sounds
fair,
like something I'd say.
I'd expect that from me.
Yeah, that is
From you.
that is very on brand for
We
you.
got just
but-
like drama Matt's like, oh yeah, so I went for a run. I went for like a 10-mile run, and I'm like, yeah, fight me. Like, I'm sorry, what? Fucking fight me.
Shall we move on to what the podcast is ostensibly about?
Yes, fighting me. Okay.
No, we're going to talk about what we've been doing as of late.
You first.
Yeah, more accurately, what I've been doing first.
Okay, let's talk about all the things that you want to do, Whip. Let's do that. While
Well, it's
Drama
not
Matt
really
sits there, just his fists itching, and he's punching his kneecaps off because the weird conditioning that the Alpha Bus as an entity has impacted on him.
Imprinted.
That's what I said. Has not worn off. So Drama Matt is just punching around those little slippy cartilage discs known as his kneecaps.
Okay, shall I start talking about things? Because you're obviously making that up as you were going.
I have had
and-
4 hours fucking sleep.
Well,
because
whose fault is that?
It's definitely not mine.
Who was up till like 6 a.m. playing Divinity Original Sin 2?
Probably Drummer Matt.
I think it was you.
Don't know if it was.
I think this is all your creation.
It's not my fault. It's Larian Studios. They're my captor. Anyway, Wib, what have you been doing, you fucking dick?
Being ill mostly, but
Okay,
I have done
Drummer Matt.
I have done a few other things. Like waiting for that car to go past.
Well, that was wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah.
Like, samesies.
I'm going to start talking now.
Okay.
So first off, I've been playing a bit more Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2.
Oh, that's that
Nice.
40,000 game
It
that
is.
people like a lot.
That's Warhammer 40,000
I
game.
wish I could get into that, but that's just too complex for my feeble brain.
What, Warhammer 40,000?
No, I mean, Battlefleet Gothic, you prat. I mean, again, yeah, for 40k as well, but like, that video game specifically.
Yeah, no, it's a lot less complicated than the first one. Or at least, I think, it's more or less the same, but it just presents the information better, I feel.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been playing through more of it, and though I still feel a little bit overwhelmed by it, I can kind of confirm from my original thoughts. So I think since the last time we last time we podcast, I have streamed it with Longfang, because you can kind of co-op it, and co-oping it's absolutely fucking great. Just straight up, is just fantastic. Because you can then split your forces, so the overwhelming nature of it is made a lot less. So
can you, like, pincer charge Blackstone fortresses?
I mean, I've not encountered another Blackstone fortress.
Well, if you do, you need to pincer charge it. And just do the boop boops.
I mean, you
Like
probably
the fish.
could, but the Phalanx was able to do it because it's
Because
fucking
it's the
huge.
Phalanx, I know. But
And I don't think like a little strike cruiser is probably a good idea to ram a Blackstone fortress
that's why
with.
you get two of them. Either side, in a pincer movement.
I'm not going to Eiffel Tower a Blackstone fortress.
You need to. You gotta. You have to. The Emperor will be fucking so mad if you don't.
He'll rise from the Golden Throne, travel all the way to the Gothic sector just to give me like a high five. Well, I guess it's Cadian sector, but
Yeah.
but it's fine.
You know, I mean, anyway, he'd do that telepathically because his bony ass does not want to move from that chair. But it'd still be like, he'd be like, hey, bro, up high, and you'd be like, yeah.
And then he'd give you a psychic high five, which would probably like kill
Which
you.
would literally just destroy you and your whole like
Lineage.
Like your ancestors would just cease to be, and he'd be like, "Oh no, not again."
But anyway, the Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 is pretty good.
Cool.
Been enjoying it. I've like cleared out the first sector, the Cadian sort of sector, on my own save because there's like a stream save.
Oh,
and then
like a multiplayer save slot as well.
Yeah,
okay.
well, you can have as many saves as you want. So
Okay, that makes sense.
and then I've got a secondary save that's me actually just playing it on my own. And on the one I'm playing on my own, I've cleared out the Cadian sector, and I've gone to like the next sector where the Eldar have just showed up. So I've got to go fight those. Obviously, it's not super far through the game, but
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it does take a fair bit of time to play. It's not like something you can just knock out the door in like a couple of hours. It's a fairly long-winded thing, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's pretty good. In similar space theme, so you remember how I said that I had been watching Blake 7?
Yeah.
Well, that reminded me, watching that there was another old sci-fi that I wanted to rewatch, which was the BBC TV adaptation of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I wondered why that was in the notes. The HHGTTG. I was like, had you just punched the keyboard? And like, what have I done this week?
Like,
Fuck it. I'll just make something up on the fly.
I couldn't be bothered to type all the words.
No, that's fair. I was just looking at it, kind of going, what is that?
So yeah, if you're not aware, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was a radio play on BBC 4, I believe, back in the late 70s, written by Douglas Adams. And it was then later turned into books, a TV series, plays, and a movie that's not very good. I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, it's one of those things that I consumed loads of when I was younger, and I've just not really done again for like the last 10 years. I like went through all the radio shows and watched the TV series, saw the movie, read, I think, all bar the last book, which I think is called The Salmon of Doubt.
Is it bad, or did you just not get around to it?
I just didn't get around to it. It's also not written fully by Douglas Adams because he died like without finishing it, so it was finished off by, I think, his son.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
But yes, I've been meaning to go back and actually read that.
The fifth book in the trilogy of books.
Yes. But yes, I went and watched the TV show, which is an interesting one because it sort of goes up to, I think it's the end of the second book. which for 6 episodes, it goes great guns to cover all that. But yeah, having just watched Blake 7, it's really funny because it's from the same era of like sci-fi.
But there's such a different tone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I realised watching it again, how many little turns of phrases are just like they're just from there. Things that I say that I didn't realise I got, like to refer to something as like, oh, this happened for no adequately explored reason. That I get from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Or my personal favourite, which I've had a lot of use for in the last 3 years, there'll be the first against the wall when the revolution comes.
See, the one I always remember of you using a lot was, and disappeared in a puff of logic.
Yes, that's...
And you're like, okay...
That's Homer's spiel discussing how the Babelfish is the proof of there being a non-existence of God, because the Babelfish is a dead giveaway that there should be a God, and if God has to prove himself, then he can't exist. So therefore he would disappear in a puff of logic if man was to ever discuss with him about the Babelfish.
Well, I'm convinced.
Which is a universal translator, but it's a fish that you jam in your ear, because Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is great.
It's a strange one. Also, have you ever played the adventure game?
I have played the adventure game.
Where you get killed by a brick if you just don't duck within the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, I managed to get to the Vogon constructor fleet. And
I don't know when that is. Is that like 10 minutes in? What is it?
Yeah, about that.
Well, it's an old text adventure game, and those were historically, legendarily unforgiving.
And this one's particularly bad, even by those standards. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching it again because it's there's something very kind of comfy about it. You know, like old British sci-fi. There's just a sort of feeling to it that I don't know.
I mean, I'm probably just gonna say I think so after 75 episodes of you watching old sci-fi and just enjoying it a lot, people are probably used to you going, I like watching old sci-fi, it makes me happy. And and they do enjoy hearing it. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy hearing about it, but like I'm just saying it's probably not a massive surprise that you watch good old sci-fi and you feel good.
But I'm talking about like the specific kind of feeling of a certain era of show.
There's something reassuring about watching something that's kind of shit, but also just kind of enjoyable.
Yeah.
You're just like,
they're endearing.
Yeah. If this can succeed, I can succeed.
Well, yeah, it's they made these shows without the budget or technology that you would have thought necessary to convey these stories, and they still managed to do it. Yeah. Sometimes the special effects look a bit shit. Okay, all the time the special effects look a bit shit. But like there's this kind of like...
That's not the point.
Yeah, that's not the point. And especially with something like Hitchhikers that's a comedy and, you know, it's this sort of very cynical mindset going into it. But is occasionally oddly hopeful as well. There's just something kind of nice about it.
See, that is true and beautiful. But all I can think about is that pig creature that has been created so it wants to be eaten and is played by one of the most boring Doctor Who's.
Yeah, he's played by... Oh, fuck, what's his name? He's so boring, his name falls out my head. He was the one who was in All Creatures Great and Small, and then he was the doctor in between Colin and Tom Baker.
But yeah, like, Wib literally...
Peter Davison, that's his name.
There we go. Wib literally showed me this scene where they wheel out Peter Davidson dressed as like a weird six-legged pig, and he's like, yes, can I interest you in my liver? It should be very, very juicy and tender. And of course Arthur is horrified because he doesn't want to eat something that's literally suggesting parts of its body to be eaten. And then they're like, oh, that's disgusting. Would you rather eat something that doesn't want to be eaten? And he's like, I guess. And it's hysterical. Because like the pig's like one of the party is like, oh yeah, we'll have 4 steaks. He's like, excellent choice, sir. I'll take myself out back and shoot myself. Then he puts his hands on the guy's shoulder and goes, don't worry, I'll be very humane. It's just like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing.
Apparently that's from the stage play originally, because it's not in the radio play or the books.
Well then, I'm glad it's in that, because that was a fantastically glib edition. That's like the definition of British humour.
Yeah, it's good. If you get a chance to watch it, go see it. You can get it on DVD pretty cheap. I found 2 different versions of it on DVD. One had a shit cover and one had a good cover. But the one with the shit cover was like a $5 less expensive. So guess which one I've got.
Doesn't matter. You've got the dudes,
yeah.
so it's all good.
It also had a really fun little special feature on it. Is it had the little indents from BBC Two in 1979 or 1981? I can't remember when it came out exactly. It's around that era, where it had the little indents from BBC Two from when it was done. So it was like, and now welcome to the new series from Douglas Adams that was a successful radio play on BBC Radio 4. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And you see the old graphics they used to use and stuff.
That's
just really interesting.
Really cool.
Yeah.
That's like a little time capsule.
Yeah,
right
it
there.
is.
It's like, when you'd find old recordings of movies on on like a VHS tape.
Oh, yeah.
And it'd have adverts in it, and you're just like, it was a different time.
Well, I watched an episode, like an election special of Spitting Image from the 80s a while back.
Oh, dang.
If you don't know, Spitting Image was a weird puppet show that was like a kind of political satire thing that like made weird, ugly puppets of celebrities.
Oh, they were terrifying.
Yeah,
They were really creepy. Very good though.
A lot of the people who made it, a lot of people who made it went on to do 2D TV in like the early 2000s, which was worse by every metric.
I have a feeling that, like, as like a shithead teenager, I thought it was funny. Well, I thought it was.
So did I.
I thought it was moderately funny. It was still pretty hit or miss when I was like an idiot little girl.
Yeah.
But like, I know that if I went back and watched it now, it would be horrifically awful.
But yes, watching the old Spitting Image, aside from being weirdly prescient still, because
no reason.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. But yeah, seeing the adverts, like there was, like I kind of forgot how innocuous adverts could be. Like they could just be for like weird things that you wouldn't expect. Like there's just, I remember the one I distinctly remember was an advert for just shelves.
Do you have shelves? No, you probably should.
Pretty much.
It's not even a brand of shelves.
It was for a brand of shelves.
Do you have doors? You probably should invest in them.
This has been paid for by the Bureau of Doors. If this podcast could be sponsored by Doors, that would be great, because we use doors all the time.
Oh, Drummer Matt, what's wrong? Well, Snipe,
I don't have enough doors in my life.
I just don't. I have 4 doorways and only 1 door. I feel like quite an imbecile.
I have to
be honest, I'm more pro with the concept of opening doors than closing them, so I'm not sure I'm okay with that sponsorship.
Okay.
What about shelves? Shall we go for shelves?
Shelves are pretty safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you live in a flat like ours and we're not allowed to put extra shelves up, and that's very disappointing.
Yeah. Because we don't have any drawers in the kitchen, so we have to leave our cutlery on top of the fucking like little side unit we have in there.
It's very annoying.
It's terrible. So yes, let's not advertise for shelves because they're not applicable to everybody.
Yeah.
But doors tend to be pretty applicable in most situations.
I'm going to move on to another subject now because I feel we've got caught in a conversational cul-de-sac that's not very interesting or engaging for the people.
Because there's not enough doors!
So I was going to briefly mention one other thing, as that Matt and I, when we were supposed to be podcasting originally...
Did kissing.
We didn't do kissing. Oh. We played Warhammer 40,000 over Tabletop Simulator.
And then the winner got a big kiss.
Well, I never got a kiss and I won, so...
Okay, spoilers, thanks though.
And I just wanted to bring it up because I wanted to make 2 points. One, that we played with, Tau versus Orcs, our kind of traditional armies, but neither of us played with armies we physically have, because you were using 3 Storm Surgers.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about them if you're using them, but not against
They
them.
have far too many guns, and I thought I'd go for some...
It takes so long to shoot everything with them.
I wonder how Wib, an Orc player, is just not really sympathetic to your plight.
And I thought it'd be fun to make a weird army that consisted nearly entirely of Squiggoths.
It was amazing.
I've heard that Squiggoths maybe aren't the best unit.
It turns out that Squiggoths aren't super great because all their rules were written before the Orc Codex, so they have basically none of the universal rules that Orcs have, and the regular ones only have 1 weapon hardpoint that is for a heavy weapon, meaning that if you move them, which you're going to, since they're a transport that is good in close combat, they hit on 6s. So yeah, that's a thing.
That sounds really suck.
And quite a lot of their weaponry only has 1 shot. So if you've got 3 of them, on average, you're only hitting once every 2 turns. Yeah.
And before anyone says anything about my abilities for technically losing this fight.
Okay, yeah, you did. I did actually win, yeah.
Against your not optimal giant squigs. I killed basically all of your army, but because of the game we were playing, you happened to have some people on one of the objectives.
I had a single squad of completely raw orc boys, like just 10 of them, no knob, no special weapon, squatting on a point, so I won on victory points when it got to the last turn.
Was that deliberate, or did you just forget they were there?
No, I did place them there intentionally, because I saw
to be fair, that was the mission we were playing, and you played it well, so I don't hold anything against you. I'm slightly defending myself when you're going on about how you won despite having all of the terrible suboptimal units.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, you killed absolutely everything. I only killed one. I did kill a few of your little guys, because you had a few of the little things, but I only killed one of your storm surgers.
And I think if we actually played for another turn, because one of the weapons that what the storm surgers have don't need line of sight to shoot, so the fact that you were hiding behind a giant building, I reckon I would have got close enough within a turn.
Yeah, you probably would have. Yeah,
but we ended it. I'm not trying to take victory away from you. I'm just defending myself slightly.
You probably should have taken victory away from me because it was shocking. But yeah, that's all I wanted to just bring up, because it was just kind of a weird, fun, bizarre game.
Just reminds me of that awesome stream I did with Unity, where I had my Imperial Knight versus the points match of Ripper Swarms.
Yeah.
And it took like 2 hours, mainly because Unity had like 8 billion dice to roll. And like he had to duplicate the dice so much that he couldn't duplicate any more dice because Tabletop Simulator wouldn't allow him to create any more instances of dice.
Yeah.
And then it was literally just 10 minutes of us picking out all the 5s and 6s. It was still so much fun.
It was a whole
I don't
thing.
regret it. It was a whole thing.
But yeah, that's me done. So I'm then going to pass over to the drummered Matthew and ask how you have been doing for the last 2 weeks, and what have you been up to? Tell me everything. Absolutely everything.
Don't leave out any detail.
No matter how inconsequential.
Or excruciating.
I'm trying to think of anything that I've done in the last 2 weeks beyond what's written on the list. And I was like, I'm sure I probably had a sandwich at some point.
You sent me a gift on Pokemon Go, and I forgot to use my lucky egg.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't get the big boost. I'm just trying to jog your memory. You have a Pokemon that's been in a gym in the middle of nowhere for like nearly a month.
He won't come home. He ran away from home and he won't come back.
Where was it? It was just on a cliff somewhere.
It's this old like troglodyte settlement cave thing on the side of a cliff in the Dordogne, in just a bit east of Bordeaux.
There's your Pokemon.
It's a fairly popular like tourist attraction. You go and you just see how people used to live in caves and stuff. And yeah, it was. I mean, it's a relatively interesting hour of your time, but I put my Tyranitar in a gym there. I think 22 days ago or something like that. And he's not left yet. So he is my only gym that's completely gold maxed out in terms of like leveling up the gym. And I've only ever been there once, and I walked past it for like, I was there at the gym long enough to put a Pokemon in it, and then I left immediately.
And now he's
been there for 22 days.
So if anyone's nearby, please kick his Pokemon the fuck out.
I want him back.
Drummermat misses him terribly.
And I feel really guilty for not sending him berries, but I just want him to come home, and if I send him berries, he's less likely to come home.
No, the thing is, like, if they just have 0 berries, and like, so I don't think they come home. It's if somebody fights them, they literally just KO them in one punch.
Yeah. No, I know.
So
I just don't want to like level him up in case someone goes past and goes, "Oh, he's a bit too high now. I won't," or anything. I just.
Oh, you're trying to make him look really vulnerable, so people want to hurt him.
Yes, and then he can come home, and I can cuddle him better.
I'm starting to think I know why your Tyranitar won't come home.
Too real.
That poor boy, he's just trying to make it on his own, away
Getting
from
away,
horrible drummer man.
getting away from Pokemon abuse. Please tell us what you've been up to.
I played a game.
Oh, good.
I played a game called Pony Island,
Yes.
which
I've
was
heard of that.
Been meaning to play that. We got gifted it a while back, and
so
it's just been...
so did I. I just wanted to say that before by lovely Neil. He sent it over.
Oh, bless. Yeah, I've been meaning to play it myself.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
It's good. It's exactly what I need. I'm getting so bogged. I think I talked about this definitely in the last podcast, possibly the podcast before, and possibly even the podcast before that, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I've been plodding away at it, but it's such a slow going game. I'm honestly, the only reason I'm still playing it is my want to finish. I don't like stopping the game, like, not at the end. I'm not wanting to, like, 100% it, but I wanted to get to at least the end of the, like, story, but oh, it is so slow going.
Oh, dude.
I'm not massively enjoying it. I'm just playing it out of stubbornness at this point. But anyway, that's a whole separate issue. I've talked about the issues of that game before. But Pony Island is a nice short. It was like 2 or 3 hours, and I was like, oh, this is exactly what I need as like a nice cleanser thing that I can just like play and enjoy and finish. And it's really good. Yeah, I recommend it. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's.
Yeah, I don't want to spoils because I've heard
it's
an interesting game.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because as soon as Neil emailed me and said, "Oh, I've got a game recommendation for you, but it's best to go in blind," I immediately was like, "Oh, but now I want to check it out." And it's sort of like, oh, so the more you say you don't look it up, the more people want to look it up.
I don't
and it's
have
not
any
like
need to, so it's fine.
And it's not like you wouldn't enjoy it if you looked it up in advance, but yeah, it just makes it tricky to talk about.
Yeah. So just yay or nay?
But yay. Yeah, it was good. And I think.
Come on, that was an amazing horse pun, and I'm really disappointed.
Oh no! Oh yeah.
Get it, yay or nay? Because nay is what the
it was
noise the
pony.
horses make.
I'm sure
Yeah.
every pony out there appreciated it.
Don't you ever fucking say that to me again. I will stamp you to death with my hooves.
I mean, yeah, it's not nearly as sexy as I thought it might be. Knowing how
You were
how
expecting a
sexy ponies
lot
are
more
supposed to be.
pony play.
Yeah.
You were
So slightly let down in that regard, but
So yeah, if you have any sexy pony porn games, just email drummerbutttheclopper at gmail. He wants to get his clop on.
After a recommendation of the last podcast, I've been watching that Netflix show. It's called like Love, Robots on Netflix.
Love, Death, Robots.
That's the one.
Yes, I have.
Not the best or most catchy name, I'll be honest.
No, not really. But
Okay,
I
have
also
you been watching it?
We've
Okay,
all
we've-
watched
we've-
it seems.
Yeah.
Okay, were you going to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll let you jump in.
Cool.
When you want. But I've watched, I think, either 4 or 5 of them. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I'm quite enjoying it. I think it would have been a lot better if it was released about 10 or 15 years ago, writing-wise. There's a lot about it where it's like trying to be interesting and twisty and cool, but it's very obvious. And it's like, if
Are
this
you
was
talking
before...
specifically about that episode that involves the weird kind of time loop thing, and it's really fucking obvious what it's going to do, and it's full of sexualized violence?
Not explicitly, but yes, that is
honestly,
included in the list.
I hated that one more than anything. Like,
But I loved
liked
the animation
visual
in that
style.
one was amazing.
It looked great, but the thing is, it was literally like, I have been to college with film students, and this is the kind of shit that they've like, that first year film students think is so clever. Like, hi, my name's Greg, and I'm a first year film student, and I idolize Quentin Tarantino. I shoot things in black and white, and I put time loops in things because it demonstrates the inevitable, like, stupidity of man. And you're like, do you know what that means? Like, no, but Tarantino would suck my dick. And I can't stand
He'd
it.
suck their feet.
Whatever.
Yeah,
He'd be a
he-
fucking
he-
creepy
yeah.
asshole about
Yeah.
it. So yeah, no, I had like such like trauma flashbacks to being at fucking college, and I just like, oh god, no.
Like, I will say, I think that is like, if I had one overall critique of the whole thing, is that there's a handful of them that sort of mistake nudity for being adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah.
I don't really care about nudity, so it's like, it didn't bother me a massive amount, but it was just kind of, you're watching something and then suddenly there's like a big erect dick and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it
Right.
didn't. It's not bothering me for. I'm fine. I don't really mind. I quite like it to be, slightly more equal in terms of the genders of the
no,
nudity,
absolutely,
rather than
yeah.
just
There was a shocking
this
amount
male
of
director
dicks.
and male writer has written. Yeah, no, they're not. I just mean in general.
Oh, in general, yeah.
In general, not in this. So so far. I mean, like I said, I've only watched the first either 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So
Have you seen the episode called Good Hunting, which is my absolute favourite?
I don't know what any of them are
That's
called.
okay, well, it's like a more traditionally animated short that is set in China.
No.
Okay, that one is really fucking good.
It
I
should,
love that one.
It should also be noted that there is at least 2 different running orders for the show,
Yeah.
because Netflix is experimenting with showing them in different orders, which I kind of hate, because to me, even an anthology show, the episodes should be arranged sort of like, how songs on an album are. Like,
Yeah, but I'd agree with that if it wasn't made by Netflix. But seeing as they made it, I'm like, well, it's your show. Show it in the order you want, I guess.
yeah, but they're experimenting
yeah.
with this as like a way of showing things in different orders, and I'm not. I don't know how I feel about it. Also, because it makes it harder to talk about, because if you sit there and go, okay, episode 1, and people go,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
which
that's-
one
Yeah.
is that? Because I know that the one we got first was the one.
It was Sonny's Edge, which was the robot like monster fighting.
Oh yeah, that was my first.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that was the first one, which I thought was pretty good. I do feel it was way too short.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause,
Really?
like even the longest one's like 15 minutes long. So.
Yeah, I do
Well,
feel
that's the longest one. That was like 17 minutes. That one.
really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then I
That was
guess
like-
it just had too much information for me to deal with then.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, it's just, it felt like there was a couple of points that it kind of rushed into, and it felt like it was like grasping for time.
I mean, I don't think it would have been hurt by having a longer
No.
run time.
But no, I mean, like, that's just like, my only criticism is like there's a little bit of pacing, but like it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, I think it would have been good if it kind of hadn't been done. I don't know. I don't even know if the story's been done. It just seems like something about it was just. I don't even know how to put it into words, which is kind of an issue for a podcast.
I mean, a little bit.
It's
yeah.
just, I think it thinks it's cleverer than it is.
I use
and it's
the kind
actually-
of like.
But it's
these-
what you were saying about film students, and it's not they're thinking it's. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't think it's as good as it thinks it is,
Yeah.
and that kind of somehow shows through it.
No, I get you.
My
Because,
point
like,
about the nudity, which I was going to make before we moved on, was I have no issue with the nudity apart from the fact that it doesn't add anything. And all it does is it seems like, some animator just wanted to spend a lot of time animating some naked bodies for the sake of it. And it just comes across as a little bit, odd.
I mean, I do feel like some of the nudity is just kind of like, oh, okay, that's there. But I mean, at the same time, it is really refreshing to see male nudity.
Yeah, no, that's
And
fair.
like, not only because like you can see a naked man like in cinema, like it not very common, but like a guy with a hard on is something that you don't ever see in media. And I sound like I'm being such a pervert, but like it's just, especially like it wasn't just guy walking down the street with a massive lob on. It was like there's a guy with a prostitute. Of course he's gonna have a hard on. It's like, okay, that makes sense. They're not like super fixating on it, but it's just like, because we do see in media like loads of female nudity as well, not full frontal, which again was like something that was like, oh, okay, that's there, which is fine, I guess. Like, considering the context in which I'm seeing this, it does make sense. So it's like, yeah, I'm very conflicted on the nudity, because like, on one side, I think that nudity being a taboo is stupid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's
yeah.
really stupid. Like, for any gender, I think it's just really dumb. But also, like, yeah, there are some elements of just, did that person need to be, like, wandering around with their dick
I
out?
think it's all about the context of it, because
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
it
like,
becomes a
'cause-
bit uncomfortable because it's
like,
sexualized violence.
especially in
you know?
The Witness, where it's like, unfortunately, the situations where you see a lot of female nudity is usually quite sexualized. So that mixed with like violence and blood, it makes me feel super uncomfortable. Because I mean,
and it doesn't really earn that imagery either.
No, and like I feel really like if something has sexual violence in it, I don't want to go near it. Like that's just something that I really hate in media, and I don't feel it should ever really be in there. But I'm not saying like I want like that to never be in anything. But if it is in there, then expect me to just literally avoid it like it's the plague, because it makes me feel really unwell. And it's just like, and yeah, like The Witness wasn't well written enough to have earned that.
Yeah, I will say, because I think we are kind of like harping on like the negatives quite a lot here, but because there's a handful of episodes of it I really, really liked.
That's the tricky thing about an anthology.
Yeah,
is that like anthologies are always going to be like statistically they're going to be pretty average as a whole.
Yeah. There's like
the really good ones and the really bad ones are going to be in the minority.
Because there was a few that were kind of interesting, but I wouldn't say I'd ever want to watch again. Like Zima Blue.
Zima Blue, I think that was really indicative of, like I said, like the old heavy metal movie.
Yes.
Which is, if you're an artsy twat like me, you'll know about.
And then there was the one where it felt like it was the intro cutscene to a wave survival game on Steam.
Yeah.
Where everyone looked like an up-res TF2 model, and they were fighting Zerglings. And
to be fair,
I really quite like that one.
I want to play.
Oh, the one with the farmers.
Yes.
Yeah, I
where
thought
the whole send the men out to save us and the women stay at home. Apart from the one token old crazy lady.
Yeah. To be fair, I loved the old crazy lady. She was amazing.
Yeah, but she was just there because they were just like, oh, you know, we needed these two guys because obviously their wives can't deal with it, but we don't want to be seen as bad, so let's put in this other woman. Like,
but
guys,
that really
you could have been a lot better.
Like that's going to be on Humble Bundle in like 6 months. You know what I mean? Like
I also really like the one where it was just the comedy thing with I think it was like would have been episode 2 of the ones that we
with
saw.
the 3 robots
With the cat.
Yeah, with the cat.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the first trailer I saw for the series, and it was like, because I'd been aware of the series for a little while, and then I saw that trailer because the Oatmeal retweeted it because it references Exploding Kittens,
yes,
the game
it does,
that the Oatmeal made, and Oatmeal was like, so I'm kind of part of a Netflix show now.
Speaking of cats, another one of my ultimate favorites was it's a traditionally animated one about like a few mercenaries who are helping out a scientist at a dig. That was so good. I
Gary is my favourite character.
Gary is
also, what's
life-changing.
wrong with Gary?
No one knows what's wrong with Gary, but she's amazing. And yeah, so that one was really good as well. Also, the very last one.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. Minor spoilers. Gary shoots Dracula's dick off.
She does. She does, and it's pretty good. It's like, yeah, like, what's wrong with Gary?
She shoots Dracula's dick off.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Trevor Belmont wishes he could do that.
Trevor Belmont would totally whip Dracula's dick off given half the chance.
Yeah. He'd whip that dick right off.
Yeah, whip it real good.
And like another one that I really loved was the last one I saw, which was about, it's like set in World War II.
Yeah.
And it's basically following a bunch of Russian soldiers around the frozen wastes. And that one I really liked.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Like it had really like eerie moments.
I've just remembered the one
the pilot.
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13 was amazing.
That contains the actress who's in Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah.
Which made it even more weird because we know that what she looks like, and so the fact that she's been presented.
She's been modelled in 3D.
It makes it even more uncanny valley.
Well, I mean, there were moments in that where I was looking and my brain forgot that it was CGI. Samira Wiley is the lady's name. And, like, they have everything about her down. Like, little mannerisms, little facial tics that she has.
All mocap. So.
Yeah, and it's just perfect. And it's like, this is awesome. It was so cool. And like, I want to know so much more about that. They left me wanting so much more. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is really good.
Yeah, as I was saying, like, that's the thing with like these kind of anthology shows of like the good and bad episodes, like they kind of colour your opinion of the whole thing in sort of weird, because there's loads of episodes that are just sort of like, well, they happen, and you're like, okay, that is a thing that I've watched now. And then there's the really, really good ones that are these unique things, and you want to see more about the world. And then there's the really bad ones, and it's, obviously this is true of a lot of things, but I think it's especially true of anthologies. The only ones you remember are the really good and really bad ones.
Yeah.
So it leads you to be maybe a little bit more polarized on opinions of the whole series as a whole, because your opinions of individual things were so kind of like skewed to the extreme, and you've forgotten about the ones that you weren't.
What would you say, gentlemen, that your favourites are? And Drama Matt, what is your favourite so far?
So I was just checking this. So I've seen the first as presented to me the first 5 episodes, which I just checked, and it's the same order as it says on Wikipedia, which is quite useful. So Sunny's Edge, 3 Robots, The Witness, Suits, and Sucker of Souls.
Oh, look out for Yogurt.
That's the next one.
I forgot about the yogurt one.
I remembered that you really like Yogurt.
Yeah, yogurt was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what I fucking watched, but it was pretty good.
Okay, that was it. So out of those 5 episodes, I really, the 3 Robots one with the cat and things, I enjoyed. The other 4, they all had too many issues for me to enjoy them, really. So overall, it's the 3 Robot one is my favourite, because it's the one that has the least moments.
Yeah.
To be honest. The animation on the time looping Witness, was it Witness that one called?
Yeah,
that was great. It looked great.
It looked amazing. It
looked gorgeous.
So the whole time being like, I can't work out if this is like entirely animated or whether it's filmed and then like animated
sort of
over that, and then it's got the cartoon moments and it looks amazing. But
it really does look fantastic.
That was definitely my favourite visual episode. But the three Robots is my favourite so far out of the first 5. So I've got another, is there 16 of them or something?
There's
around that.
Right,
so another 11 to go. So I'll keep going because they're only like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah,
so it's like, if there is a bad one.
Well, I mean, I sat down like one night and just thought, I'll give the first one a look. And then Wib came and sat down next to me and we watched the entire thing in one sitting, which I don't regret. That's fine.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing. Like, even though there are episodes that we really didn't like, the episodes that were good were really good. So
I'd say overall, I'm very positive on the series, and I think it's really cool to see so many different little tidbits of stories, and like just little bites. And it is really nice, kind of going like it is under the umbrella of Love, Death, Robots. But it's still very refreshing to have so many different kind of stories. I think guess.
I've got a good soundbite to sort of end on.
Because they're obviously listening, everyone who's involved.
Love, Death, Robots. Nowhere near as many robots as I was expecting.
I've got a soundbite. Love, Death, Robots. Way more wieners than I was expecting.
True.
Okay, I'm waiting heavily for the wieners. Because so far there's not been that many.
Well, I think maybe it's catering to my Netflix stuff, which is full of wieners and woolawas and mlems.
The fuck are you talking about?
These are actual terms. I'm not being weird.
I'm not sure if they are. And if they are, they probably shouldn't be.
Wow. That's really fucking lame of you.
I'm not calling a cock a mlem.
That's not a mlem.
Mlem.
An MLM, man-loving man. And a woman-loving woman.
Oh, okay, I get what you mean now.
See, I told you they were real things.
If they were written down, I'd know what you meant, but like pronouncing
well, I'm sorry
them.
that you can't see my words as text, you fucking amateur.
Matthew,
Get good.
Matthew, please, anything else?
No, not really. We watched Spider-Man again because
I really want to watch Spider-Man again. It's so good. Oh, I love it.
Oh, and last night we went. There's currently start for this week. There's a music documentary festival on the moment, which they have every year here, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I missed it last year, and we didn't know about it the first year, so we like embracing it and going to loads of them this year. And the one we saw last night, which I'm not really going to talk about because it's really not quite podcast material in any possible way. But if you're interested in music documentaries, go see the MIA documentary, which we saw last night because it's very good.
Okay.
I recognised like one of the songs. I didn't really know MIA. To be honest, I wasn't 100% whether it was a person or a band, but we went along just because we wanted to see it, and it's a very good documentary. I highly recommend it.
Cool. I'll keep an eye out
Even
for
if
that.
you're not particularly into her music, because I didn't know I was or wasn't, because I didn't really know what it was. But even if you're completely oblivious to it, I recommend seeing it because it's very good.
I get that. I do quite enjoy watching music documentaries, even for things I'm not particularly interested in. Like,
Yeah.
I watched a big documentary on prog rock like a little while ago, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I can't remember what it was. I remember one of the ones that I saw. It wasn't like a bad documentary, but just the final little like segment was like the worst placement. It was about 80s electronica and stuff.
Okay.
And it did a really good job because I personally am not a fan of like that sort of era of music. It's not my thing. But
It's the drum beats.
I hate 80s drums. I just hate them.
Yeah, they're not good. See, that sounds way more real than an actual 80s drum.
It's like, hey, let's just use electric drums, and when we're not doing that, let's just only use the overhead mic for all of our drums. But anyway, it was about that, and it was really interesting, and I saw it, but then I can't remember who it was, but it was some bloke they had on, and the very last thing they had was him saying basically how all other music except electronic music just isn't trying very hard, and only people who did electronic music were really trying to push any boundaries whatsoever. And it was like, wow, that's
What a pretentious asshole.
putting the most pretentious man in the universe on the end was probably not the best idea, because
Sours to the whole thing.
yeah, because sitting there, because like he explicitly was like basically, oh yeah, basically all rock music is shit, and it's like, well, I mean, anyone that sits there and just goes, all of this music is automatically bad because it's not the genre I like, is generally not the best person to listen to about music, because all genres have. I can guarantee,
like
there's gonna be
fair enough
something.
if that's your opinion, but like, you shouldn't be interviewed for a fucking documentary about music if that's an opinion
You know,
you hold.
no, it's totally fine for that. I feel like if you to express your opinion, there's no issue with that. The issue is that is presented as the end of the show, at
also,
the end
that's
of the
like
thing,
presented as the conclusion.
at the conclusion, like the summary of the thesis of the thing, and
You'd expect that to be at the start somewhere.
if it was just someone saying that at the start, or if it was just him interviewed in the middle, it wouldn't be a thing. But just because it was presented as the last thing, it's like, wow, that was a bad placement for that. I just always stuck in my mind. I wish I could remember who it was, so I'd know that.
to avoid them, because they are a bit of a crumb bum.
Because overall, it was a good documentary, apart from that one bit, which is like, wow, that was a bad thing. I wish I could remember the name of it. But yeah. Sorry to hijack that, but yeah.
He's not. He's not.
He's not. It's fine. I'm used to it. I've forgotten which of you hasn't talked yet.
Oh.
So, someone. What about you?
It's me, you rat! I have never felt so unloved in my
Because
own
we've all talked about every bits from everyone's own section, so it's all a bit
I thought you were going to say
blurry today.
sex life. What the fuck?
So mad. How's your sex life?
I demand diagrams. Is Ruth there? Bring her in. It's me.
She's not. She's recovering.
Oh. I never thought I'd say this. Snipe, please start talking so I don't have to listen to anything more from Matt.
I did not bring it up.
Well, evidently you did.
I am telling on you and getting you done. I'm gonna message Ruth and tell her, and she'll just reply with, "Oh, okay, as long as you guys had fun," because she's the nicest human being ever. You got lucky, drummer butt. Okay, so moving swiftly the fuck on.
Oh god. Yeah, moving on.
Apart from Love, Death and Robots and being incredibly fucking ill, I finally decided to conquer that weird depression, procrastination. I don't know if anyone else who suffers from mental illness gets that, where like you really want to, like you really like something, like a movie or a video game, and you want to play it, but you just can't for some reason. But yeah, I finally did that, got over it, conquered that binge.
Nice.
And got back on Divinity Original Sin 2, which is a game I fucking love.
Because, you've never beat the very end of it.
No, there's a place called Arcs, and I got to Arcs, and then I just stopped, and this happened a couple of times with a couple of different characters. And I'm on, I've actually gone through, and I'm really proud of myself, because I've spent at least, 40 hours in this game now. And I'm literally at, the end fight. So it's kind of annoying that we record just before I actually beat the game. Literally, I'm, half an hour from beating the fucking thing.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I've really been enjoying it. And, not playing it for, 6-7 months and then going back into Endgame has kind of rattled me a little bit, because I absolutely, make no mistake, I fucking love Divinity Original Sin 2. I love so much about it. It is so very dear to me. However, that does not mean that it was not without some severe fucking flaws. The AI is a fucking dick. I don't like it. You get towards the end game, and suddenly, it's just all status ailments all the time. People are stealing your source points left, right, and center. Source points are what you need to cast the super big spells. And in Arcs especially, source points are very hard to come across. Each character at this point has a maximum of 3. So if you get one stolen in a fight and they keep casting Decay on you, which, you cure with a source point, it really gets annoying really frigging quickly. There's a fight I went and did, which was a character called the Doctor, which is nowhere near as Whovian as anyone would like to think, although I would really like to kill the Doctor as well.
Well, lots of people have. There's been a lot of them.
I want to kill the concept of Doctor Who because I've known so many people who are genuinely the worst of humanity that are just oh my god, I'm such a Whovian. Oh, Alonzi. And I'm I am going to literally fucking pull out all your teeth, boil them, pull out the nerves, powder them up, and force you to fucking eat them.
I'm starting to think that your dislike of them may not be about Doctor Who.
Who can say?
Who indeed?
Who can say?
Who indeed?
But yeah, and my biggest problem is that I had to do the Doctor fight. I play on the easiest difficulty that there is. And I shouldn't be facing this level of... I honestly feel if somebody from Larian Studios just walked into my house and punched me in the face, it would be less difficult than all these boss fights. So, with this fight with the Doctor, there's one character who, I won't spoil it, but if they're in your party and you don't do a certain thing, something horribly, terribly bad happens to them. Which is basically the end of that character, and you can't use them for the rest of the game. So...
Does it communicate what this thing is you have to do?
No.
Oh.
Not really. It just, at the start of Phase 2, the big bad just goes, guess what? Character-ending thing I'm doing. And I'm just fuck. Which is why every time before I start to talk to someone, I quick save.
Yeah.
Because that's just something you've got to do. And for a game from 2017, it feels really not something I shouldn't be save scumming it, but I can't help it. Because literally... Early on, there's a thing you can do that you can just go up and look at an altar to a god, and I play an elf, so I walk up to this human altar, and I'm just well, I'll just poke it, and then my character becomes permanently blinded for the rest of the game, which means you can't see more than 3 feet in front of your character. So the 5x5 foot square that you occupy, you can't attack or do anything outside of that. So I had to reload.
Yeah.
And I was okay, just from literally just going, that's an altar to the human god Rallic. Hello! And he's just fucking blind! And okay, you've blinded me, thank you. You are truly a benevolent god. But yeah, so there's a lot of there's not a lot of things like the permanent blinding. But there's enough to always make you uncomfortable.
Basically, it's like playing with a killer DM.
It really is! It really is! So you don't ever want to, like, you always are looking to do the utmost that you can. Like, I would say that playing the game without a maxed out persuasion is just really not something you should be doing. Which is a problem I've encountered at the very last fucking inch of the game. Which I'm going to have to go back all the way from all the puzzles I've done and fucking sort that out. Which really annoys me, which I appreciate. It is self-inflicted, and I could just continue the game as normal, but this is not how I want to play my game, and I've spent 40 fucking hours in it, and I'm gonna fucking end it how I want.
Yeah.
And with the Doctor fight, I literally had, I think I beat him on my 5th attempt, just fucking barely. And honestly, that compared to what I think is the final fight of the game, it's, well, like, depending on the paths that happens in the fight, it's way harder.
I think, like, because I know that whenever you do have these kind of, like, turn-based sort of things, what I generally find is that there's always a shtick, there's always a trick to beating each kind of really hard enemy, and they always feel impossible. Until you figure out, you just do this status ailment to him, then he can't do that, which means he can't do that, which means he can't do that. Like, it just becomes this kind of thing, but you have to... It becomes like a real pain to actually figure out what those individual things are, because sometimes it doesn't really give you what you need to figure it out. But yeah.
There's not that much of it in there, though. Like, the whole, there's just, like, if you use ice magic on this person, there's not really that much about it. It's usually, if not always, just a straight-up fight.
Just be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, there's a couple of really irritating fights in the game. There's one where it's in the second area where you go to, like, the black pits. It's like this big, like, set of scaffolding near these mines, and it's just full of, like, these horrible blobs that are healed by fire. So you go in there, and then they set everything on fire so that every time they move through fire, they get loads of health back.
Oh.
And then they curse the fire. Like, you can't, like, just put cursed fire out with rain. You have to bless the fire so it's not cursed anymore, which costs source. And then you have to, like, cast rain. And then they just start exploding shit anyway, and it's just, it's all, I fucking hate this cursed shit. It's cursed fire, it's cursed poison puddle, it's cursed ice. It's like, how about you curse my fucking dick? Fucking curse my dick, I dare you. It's
By the
so
sound of it,
fucking
they're
irritating.
definitely going to.
They're cursing every bit of my dick, and I can't be arsed. And there's bits like that, or like, there's casting decay on everyone, and it's like, just kill me, which they will.
Which sounds like they're doing a pretty good job of,
because decay means that if you heal somebody, it hurts them.
So it's like the undead stat in
Although
in
if you
Final
have an
Fantasy.
undead, which I haven't had an undead because I can't be asked, because if you heal an undead, it hurts them, but if you poison them, it heals them.
Okay.
So you need poison vials if you play an undead or have an undead in your party to heal them. Which is, it's really cool, but I just cannot be fucked to do that, you know?
I just like the idea of this rad skeleton at the back of your party just chugging poison all the time.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, if you play as an undead skeleton and you take your hat off at any time, now, your hat can literally just be like a bit of a feather on top of your head. You've still got your skeleton face hanging out. And that's like, but that apparently counts as a disguise because you're wearing a headpiece. So you always just have to have your hood up or your like little top hat on, and then people are like, it's just a normal person. That's an alive creature.
Well, how many times do you see someone walk down the street and you've gone, that's a very fancy hat, but you've never looked at their face?
Never.
Okay.
Because I'm very, very prone to noticing if skeletons are walking among us.
I mean, have you noticed that before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Okay.
It checks out.
Yeah. Thank you for not asking for any proof as well.
Well, no, we know that it's just going to like escalate into a lie. So let's.
Oh
just...
wow. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Well, you're going to start talking about the Tory party, so...
Ooh.
They're ghouls, not skeletons.
Yeah, that's different. Skeletons, have souls.
Skeletons have a function.
But yeah,
Hi, new people.
Hello.
And goodbye. But no, I genuinely do love that game. Like I say, I am kind of harping on its flaws, but like, it is a beautiful game, and I'm really hoping that I can pick the right choice at the end, because I'm like, I hate that choice anxiety that you get.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because I'm like, shit, no, I want my boyfriend, Daddy Iffin, to have the best life that he can have. And I got halfway through the end fight, and I'm like, I got an achievement that has a red background for him. That's a bad ending. Just gonna have to reload, because I want him to have the best life.
Is this going to be one of those things where you're going to find out that you're stuck in like a dead man walking situation?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like absolutely. Like I don't think there's any part in the game where you can just fuck yourself to the point where it's unplayable. It's not like that, but it is very old in the way that it sees that you are enjoying this beautiful world that it's crafted with this amazingly rich narrative filled with wonderfully written characters with flaws that not only, like, they can be a problem for you, but also it helps you learn to love them for their flaws, in spite of them and because of them. And it fucking hates you for it and wants to see you die.
You see,
it wants to stamp on your fucking head in the gutter, screaming, do you like these characters? Too bad, one of them's going to be fucking murdered because you didn't know that you had to wear this and drink like fucking 3 cups of wine and eat some cheese, you stupid animal. And you're just crying going, I'm sorry, I just want to be happy. And it's screaming, I don't care. Fucking cursed fire. And I'm like, I don't have any source points. And it's like, because you're a failure and your family hate you. And honestly, 10 out of 10. Cannot recommend that game enough.
You see, with those kind of games, I always just try and go into it with a what happens sort of attitude, because
I'm going to have to resign myself to that and just do it, but it's like,
yeah.
I always get caught up in the choice anxiety first.
Yeah, because like...
And then I just kind of go, fuck it, I have to steamroll through when I can just go back and reload it. It's fine.
Because I think that's the thing, like those games, they become an issue for you if you start treating them like there is a way of getting the best ending. Like, you have to just treat it as, what ending do I get?
But yeah, no, I have been enjoying it, and I'm going to try and finish that off today. I'm probably going to be spending most of today editing, to be fair, so no fun for me.
No fun for you.
No fun allowed. No fun allowed. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So I guess that means we are on to the questions.
The questiones.
Questiones.
What's the email?
Sorry, do you want to start that again?
What's the email address?
Sorry, do you want to say that again a bit more
No!
clearly?
I will punch you in the soul.
Do you want to ask what the email address people should send to? They should send their emails to onlydrummermat@snipeandwib@gmail.com.
What's that email address again?
You heard me.
Oh. Also, we're just going to stop doing the fuck, marry, kill things, because I think it was funny for a while, but now it's just like become a formulaic kind of thing, and we'll leave off it now, I think.
Yeah, you want to maintain these things being funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to keep this stuff fresh, so we're just going to...
And we'll move on to something else tedious.
Oh, thoroughly. We'll ruin something else and then pick something else after that, as you do.
Yes. But we'll answer any that we get today, obviously.
Yeah. So, starting off with a fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
just for, So, Blood Wolf Koji. We've got one each.
Okay.
Snipe. N-Gear Krakendoom. Omegon. And Latara Saren.
Okay, so I'm going to marry Latara Saren instantly.
Yeah.
Because, of course, I'm going to marry her. I'm going to fuck Krakendoom, because I gotta.
Gotta fuck the crack.
Don't say that. I gotta see the Krakendoom. You know what I mean?
Which means you're going to kill Omegon.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, good
Oh
luck.
my gosh.
A lot have tried.
Well, I mean, I would say this question gives me the omnipotent power needed to do that.
Okay.
Because, that like this series of questioning insinuates that I am able to kill whoever I choose.
True.
So I'm
with
going
no
to kill
consequences.
No consequences at all.
Yeah.
My actions don't have consequences. So yeah, that's mine.
Okay. Wib.
Hello.
Dante.
Yes.
40k or DMC, you get to choose.
Okay.
Ooh.
Lockjaw and Mortarion.
Lockjaw?
He's an orc.
I thought he was a fucking street shark.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with Lockjaw.
I assume there's an orc. There's a bracket that says orc names are such a treat. So I'm assuming he's an orc.
Okay, so I'm going to kill Mortarion because, quite frankly, I'm just sick of his whinging.
He does whinge a lot.
I'm gonna marry DMC Dante, I guess.
DMC Dante.
Yeah. Cool. He said it could be DMC or Blood Angels Dante.
Devil May Cry 4 Dante is the only Dante you want anything to do with.
No, I mean DMC is just Devil May Cry. I don't mean it's the
DMC,
specific game.
It's not my fault they name games dumb.
Yes.
So, which Dante?
Well, it has to be DMC, 5 Dante.
Oh, he is pretty daddy.
Because he's
daddy.
a distinguished older gentleman.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. I like DMC4 Dante because he's even more of an idiot.
I mean, he is. Yeah.
And I'm just like, you are so stupid.
Which means, I guess, I'm fucking Lockjaw, who's got
oil in his veins.
A paragraph of information, and that's all you need to know to fuck someone, I guess.
I guess.
I guess, yeah.
So, is that what, one night stands are? Greetings!
How much lore do you have?
How much lore do you have? Could you send me to the cliff points of your Wikipedia page so I can decide if you are an appropriate sexual partner for myself? Here is my Wikipedia page. I think life would be a lot easier if it was like that, you know? Okay. Drama Butt, what are yours?
I have Lucius the Eternal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your boy!
Slime Arbo.
Ooh.
And Eldrad Ulthran.
Yes.
Ulthran. Yeah. Nailed it.
First try.
Well, my initial instinct is, I don't want to kill Lucius because I don't want to be Lucius.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But if we're treating this as you can kill without the consequences of killing, as previously just discussed, which is why I took a keen interest in that question you had to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill Lucius.
Yeah.
And not become him and
be the
and
man
end the
who
cycle.
takes no pleasure in it at all. You're just like, it's an afternoon.
There has been, because it's to do with you taking pleasure in his kill or pride in his kill is what kind of spurns it. So I've seen a lot of people debate. You
know what you could do? You could just poison. You could make someone poison stuff. And then he just drinks something that's poison and dies, and then they'd never know.
Well, the thing is, what people have thought about is that, say if you were if a servitor, was operating, heavy weapons on something, and it caused an explosion that killed Lucius, the servitor's going to take no pride in it, and it wasn't even aiming for him. It just killed him accidentally. So would that mean the servitor would become Lucius? Or not?
Would that mean that the person who made it or whatever would be like, yeah, I made the servitor that killed Lucius.
But if no one knows that he dies,
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Slaanesh probably doesn't care about any of these technicalities.
It's magic. Magic's all about technicalities.
No, we need to get really mad about this, Drummer Matt. We need to get really humorless and mad about
40k lore is a serious thing that is entirely consistent, and it's never done anything that's stupid and you shouldn't think about ever.
Yes,
except for all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, so let Drummer Matt be the man who kills Lucius the Eternal.
Yes, finally kills Lucius the Eternal.
Well, no, it's not me that kills them. It's just they are going to be killed, I've decided.
Okay.
Yeah. You just point your finger and go, you have 7 days left to live.
So, yep. But then I don't, then he's gone and it's fine. As much as it would be tempting to do the fuck with the champion of Slaanesh, I think this is too good an opportunity.
Yeah.
I've read enough books with Lucius and he's a prick.
Yeah.
And then left over, we've got Slime Arbo and Eldrad. And
Marbo would be yelling the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could deal with that, but I'm not sure I'd want to marry a psycho either. Because it'd be way... Oh, it's a tricky one, actually.
Yeah, do you want to marry a psycho?
I don't want to marry any of these
the
three.
Whole time?
Oh.
Because, like, I mean, I would think that the psycho would be able to, like, would be like, oh, I'm not going to intrude on your thoughts. But the thing is, every medium that has, like, people who can read minds and stuff always have the moment where they're just not paying attention and they just start invading your brain. So, like, you could be thinking about something really fucked up, like, you know, I don't know.
Any of the thoughts that roam through your head when you're doing this podcast.
Yeah. And then they just kind of look at it, and then they just start acting weird with you for the rest of the day, and you're like, what?
To be fair, anyone who listens to this podcast knows the thoughts that just randomly go through our head when we're recording the podcast.
Okay, that's completely fair. So this is like, basically, we always have psychers in our brain.
Anyway, I'm gonna fuck Sly, because I just don't think I could deal with the shouting forever for like the next 60 years or whatever.
Yeah. See,
So I guess I'm marrying an elder.
If you fuck him into a sexy time coma, then does he stop shouting?
I feel he still continues to shout.
He's
Even...
like,
Yeah.
Yes.
he snores.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. One more question from Bloodwolf Koji. Now that Abaddon's got on a new Chunky Boy model,
Yeah.
the sky's the limit. So if you guys could request Games Workshop to update an old model for 8th edition, what would it be and why?
Ragnar Blackmane, because I don't need to fucking explain myself. Holy shit, look at that fucking thing. Oh my god. It is time, Games Workshop. New Ragnar now.
Yeah, honestly, that is my go-to one because it is the most old one. I wouldn't mind a new Dante, actually.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because his model's from from around the same era. Honestly, it just looks a lot better than Ragnar. He could do one. There's a lot of models like that knocking around.
I want a Mother Gullet model.
I do not.
Everyone does.
I do
Everybody
not.
wants the Mother Gullet.
I mean, technically, the assassins are there, so they
Yeah,
can do
but I
it.
want her after she's vored a fucking, like, royalty's, like, progeny.
I mean, that's what green stuff exists for. Green stuff's in Ian Watson's imagination.
And now I regret bringing it up,
Yep.
even as a joke.
Vespid is my answer, because turns out they're quite good fun to play with, but I never would have realised that, because why would you buy some? They're horrendous models.
Yeah, I get you.
They're expensive and shit,
Yeah.
but quite good fun to play with now in 8th.
Yeah.
So I mean, they might have been before, but I don't think they were, but they might have been, but I never would have tried before playing on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, I get you.
So, yeah.
I mean, you could always make some counts as things that, you know, have the same rules but look different. Just make them a different alien.
Yeah, that's true. Find some wings to stick to some sort of Tyranid models or something.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Can't see a problem there. That's
A
great.
lot of people do make things using, like, say, the Lizard Men from Fantasy and make allied troops for the tower like that.
Skaven with wings.
Yes. Rats with
I
wings,
love that
do
idea.
your thing.
Yeah. That's
a really good idea. Because,
that's
like,
actually quite
Skaven
tempting.
models are really cool.
Space Skaven have been one of those things that they're in that same bracket as making like squat models from fantasy stuff, where it's like, ooh, I'd like to do that one day, but that's a big undertaking.
Huge task.
But doing it like with the tower is probably a good idea because then you just get to have them as an allied force.
It
they're
just
just like
fits in fluff-wise so perfectly.
Yeah, okay, I'm doing that at some point.
Okay,
Yes.
rad.
Trademark me. No one else has had that idea, and no one else can steal it.
Oh no.
Next up, Ryan. First off, will there be any more bat reps on the channel?
Probably.
Eventually.
But, like...
He does also say possibly featuring my fellow Tau player Drumblebum.
That would be cool.
I did come back and record a bat web with you, and then it was never mentioned. I assumed I just did horribly because there was no further discussion about
I
that.
forgot that we
had
recorded it.
I've still got all the footage, but honestly...
Is that actually what happened? I assumed it was just so terrible. It was just like deemed not good enough.
I'm just going to straight up say the end part of it was really confusing to even quantify what was happening, and I just didn't put the time in to edit it because I saw how the end looked.
You saw the end approaching, and it was terrible.
No, I assumed that was a more realistic answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do another one with Drummer Butt if he's willing.
Oh yeah, definitely at some point.
Yes.
We'll have to do like every time you lose a unit, drink. And then I'll just take my night and just be like, I am Captain Sober.
Yeah, but we'd have to do it with wounds for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a maximum of 24 drinks.
Yep.
I'll take my Dread, I'll take my Walker Army and just lose wounds everywhere, and get really fucking drunk. And we'll do it in Warhammer World, so they throw us out.
Yep.
They have a bar there you can drink, right?
Yeah, but also, if I wanted to buy a pint from Bugman's, I could
Well-
get, like, a bottle of Zabrovka from, like, Tesco.
I don't think the drinks are that bad.
Well,
The food's pretty expensive.
I mean, they'll seem cheap to me. I can go to festivals in the UK and beer pints seem cheap to me now. So,
France has destroyed you.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll just sneak in a bottle of, like, Glen's vodka and just sit on, like, and just put it in, like, a water bottle, and every time I lose a wound, I'll just have a sip out of my water bottle.
I mean,
and then when they throw me out for being drunk and disorderly, I'll be like, what do you have against the uncomfortably hydrated? And then threaten to sue them.
I think they're probably more going to throw us out because you're not allowed to film in there.
That's why we'll film in, like, short bursts. We'll do a screenshot Let's Play battle rap.
Okay, second question from Ryan. Is an idea for a new line of questions. So possibly maybe not possibly replacing Fuck, Marry, Kill. Nothing can replace.
No.
But, so, 1 minute lore, where we all take a minute or less to describe the lore of a subject that someone suggested. For instance, Wib could describe Orc colour theory. Snipe, you get the burning of Prospero. And Drummer Matt gets Farsight enclaves. But the thing is as well, if the person doesn't know, they can just make it up.
See, we were going to do that anyway, Ryan. I'm not level with you.
Half of our podcast is just us, like, talking bullshit anyway.
Yeah, and honestly, that just kind of feels like I want people to come in and, like, give me, like, prompts to help me remember completely true stories about Drummer Matt. I was like, hey, Snipe, did you and Drummer Matt ever go to the beach? And I'm like, yes. We went to the beach.
I'll tell you the story of what happened to that life preserver. Oof.
He put a life preserver over each of his testicles because they were really swollen up because he let the seagulls have a go at his balls.
He does that.
Because he kind of went in. We were like walking down the street. Walking down the boulevard, as you do.
Are we really doing this?
Do you want me to tell you, remember this holiday story?
I think it should be remembered for a time that it's been.
Okay, that's fair.
You're
just getting antsy because you see that we're at the hour and a half mark and you desperately want a podcast under 2 hours.
I do, yes.
Even though I'm going to be the one editing it, and I'm always the one editing it. Except for the very few times that you've helped, which I'm kind of okay with. But anyway, yeah. That is a fun... fun thing.
I do remember.
But the biggest problem with that is that it wouldn't be a minute. It would be like 20.
Yeah, I do remember.
Because we don't shut up.
Doing like 40k lore in a minute sort of thing. That was an idea we did toss around many years ago to do. But I kind of feel like there's other channels that do the lore side better, which is why like the stuff that we cover is more like this is the actual physical thing. This is the rule book. This is what's in it. This is what it is. Yeah. As opposed to looking at it from like a lore perspective. Like we bring it up obviously, but like it's not like the focus. Something just other people are just kind of that's their thing, you know.
No, but thank you for the
no, but it's an interesting idea.
Very
certainly.
cool idea. Thank you.
Okay, third and final thing from Ryan. He sent a few pictures over of their HQs from their new All Primaris army.
Okay.
And they have definitely made a mistake because each of us may name one, and it will get written on their bases.
That is a mistake. Yes.
That is a mistake.
So I've sent some pictures through.
Okay.
Get ready
for background while you're checking. So they're the colour scheme of Death Eagles from the old Rogue Trader.
Ooh, yeah, classic.
Characters are converted captain from the Intercessor paint set, a chaplain, and a librarian.
Okay.
And we each get to name one.
Okay. So who gets to name who?
It is not specified. But I kind of want to call just one of them Barry, and that fits to any of them.
So Drummer, who do you want to pick? Because I want dibs on the chaplain. Because I want his name to be Slam Sector.
Okay.
I want him to be like Captain Slam Sector.
Okay.
Now you are not obligated to name these characters after what we've said, except for the fucking chaplain, because his name has to be Slam Sector.
Because of all the slamming that he does.
He does the slam with his stick.
And it works because if they're based on, an old sort of Rogue Trader era
That was where I was going.
You've gone for old Rogue Trader art. Okay.
Yeah.
So Matt, which one do you want?
You can. I'll let you choose first.
Okay, I think I might go for the librarian then.
Okay.
Um.
Okay, so what are you going to call this lovely librarian?
I think that his name should be Horace Warblehat.
After the librarian from the Discworld
Yes,
series.
after his supposed human name,
Yes.
which I totally didn't have to just look up or anything.
No. Or you could call him Duke Ook.
Duke.
No, I think Horace is better.
Okay.
Horace Warblehat.
So, Drama Matt, what about you?
You've got to be careful though. We don't want to start a Horace heresy.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
I mean, good work, but fuck off.
Good work, but fuck off.
Can the captain be called Captain Good Work but fuck off?
No, because it wouldn't fit on the base.
This is true. Oh, this is too much. I spent the whole time you two were deciding, trying to think of something funny and witty, but
Well, we didn't come up with something funny or witty, so I don't know what you're saying.
Samantha and Horace Warblehat, yeah. Why don't you just call him Barry?
yeah, can he just be Captain Barry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or call him Berry, because he's got a smooth, shiny head.
Like a berry.
Like a berry.
He could be Nick Berry, the guy from Heartbeat.
No. Just call him the guy.
I mean, he's not
from
being
Heartbeat.
named from the guy. He's not going to be named after anyone from Heartbeat because why would he name anything after anyone?
Call him
from Heartbeat?
Greengrass.
Mate, like one of the most annoyed or most contentious opinion I think we've ever had is that we expressed that Heartbeat is a shit television show.
We had a
in
bunch
a video
of
ages
Finnish
ago.
people complaining at us going, no, it's not, because apparently they get Heartbeat because apparently the English just are content to make everyone suffer.
Yeah, it seems that if you're not English and you've had it repeated in your country, then Heartbeat is apparently a way better show. Whereas speaking as people who live in Britain and had to deal with Heartbeat existing,
My
fuck
nana would
Heartbeat's
watch
terrible.
that every fucking day. It was awful.
The only good episode was where the bloke thought he got abducted by aliens.
But anyway, we should call this guy Harry Heartbeat.
Harry Heartbeat.
Drama map. What are you going to call this lovely gentleman?
I'm sticking with Captain Barry.
Captain?
No. Either Barry or Barry, I can't decide.
Okay.
One of the two.
He's Captain Barry
about-
/ Barry.
How about
Hey,
Barry?
there's too much time on this question.
Yes.
But like the first vowel is the Roman AE. So
Yeah,
it's
sold.
Beery.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sold.
Right.
Yep,
That-
there we go. Good.
That is what you should definitely paint on your expensive models.
Yeah,
Yes.
Beery.
Okay, next up, Murray. You all seem to like both the Warhammers and video games.
Occasionally.
It's been known.
It's occasionally. Is there any Warhammer video game that you would really like to see?
Oh, I really just want another Space Marine type of game.
Yeah, like a third-person action game.
Third-person
The
action game.
examples we're given before you give you answers.
Oh.
They personally would love a Star Trek bridge type game, but driving a Titan.
That would be really cool. But then I
Or
worry
Vogel Dawn's Candy Crush, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah. And every time you break stuff, he just says no.
I think the only problem with the Titan thing is that unless it's like a Warhound Titan, I think the pace of such a thing would be so slow that it would. I think you'd have to it'd be a very hard game to design
Still
to make
sounds
fun.
like a cool idea though.
I'd love to see someone try, but I think it would be a very difficult one to do. Honestly, yeah, I just like to see another attempt at a kind of Space Marine style
I
game.
just want another third-person action game.
Yeah.
That's all I want. RTSs are not really games that I massively enjoy playing.
And there's a bunch of them, so
And there's so many.
or turn-based strategy as well, of course.
There are so many 40k RTS games, and honestly, I don't really like RTS games, so it's just a whole swathe of video games about something I really enjoy just kind of blocked off to me because I don't like it. It's really annoying, especially because Space Marine was it wasn't perfect, but it felt so good and was so much fun. And I'm just super cranky because there won't be another one. And I just want something like that. Or a Dark Soulsian kind of style would be cool as well.
Fight your way through a corrupted Underhive.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
You could do a lot of things like with that.
Yeah, I just want more. I want more 40k action games. I'm kind of fed up of like this is the lane survival 40k game. This is a card game. So I'm okay.
I think the thing is like strategy games in terms of like production of them are a lot cheaper to produce than like a big action game.
I understand why, and plus it's like a tabletop game, so
yeah,
like, it translates to like RTS pretty easy. It's still frustrating for someone who's definitely more of an action kind of gamer.
Yeah.
But yeah, Drama, what about you?
I think we mentioned before, but some sort of Sniper Elite type game, but with either like, a scout sniper or some other. I don't mind what army, but a sniper type game, but set in the 40k universe would be fun.
That would be really, really cool.
You could probably actually do that really well with the new. Like Primaris, the name's fallen out of my head, Vanguard forces, because they have like special sniper troops.
Yeah.
You could probably do something quite fun with those. Have that as like, of trying to pick off like, or weaken an enemy force before the main force goes in sort of thing.
Or just straight up demoralise them by popping holes in their tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd really like to see that. That sounds really cool.
Or you could do it, like some of the missions you could be like overlooking like a whole huge battle and you're just up the side and you've just got to like take out like certain targets.
That would be so cool.
Like
you're
you
seeing
could
this
see
ridiculous battle happening.
You could see like the battle change as you're sort of doing things. So like say you take
see
out
them like advancing if you take out like strategical like targets.
Yes, so say like you help take out say like an orc death dread, and that means that like the like guardsman force can advance from the area that was protecting, and you can see you. Like,
I want this.
This sounds so cool. I want this game. Oh, dang.
This is also one of those ones that only a company with a lot of money can make. Therefore, it's never.
Yeah. And whether they could do that well, I have no idea. But that's not the point. The point is, what would you like to see?
Also, I want another one that's kind of a little bit strategy game. I want basically Divinity Original Sin 2, but with like an Inquisitor and their personal guard, like a turn-based, heavily inspired tabletop kind of D&D kind of thing. Like Divinity, but like they don't curse you all the time.
It would be nice to have something that's a bit more
just
based...
like a real heavy like basically what I'm saying is I would be happy with like a Mass Effect type of like Inquisitor game or like a Divinity kind of game where it's a lot of story.
Basically what Eisenhorn said it was on its store page, but wasn't actually because it was a shit mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Second. So the second one is actually due to Murray's wife's mental image of Warhammer World.
Okay.
So when they mentioned Warhammer World, she had a mental image of like a kids theme park, similar to apparently like Peppa Pig World or Thomas the Tank Engine Land.
Have a Peppa
Didn't know
Pig
either
World?
of those were a thing, but Thomas the Tank Engine Land sounds amazing. But yeah, like that, but Warhammer themed.
Okay.
No,
so the question is, if you were to theme a normal fairground ride or theme park to Warhammer 40k or any kind of Warhammer, what would you do?
I would call it The Lore and LORE, and it would be a really fun roller coaster that stops every time just before the fun dip, and like a really annoying prick from the internet descends to you and goes, well, actually, I think you'll find. And then like he diverts you to like a completely straight and this takes 20 minutes.
See, I was just going to say Lumen Russell's petting zoo, but you know what? There's nothing we're going to say is going to top that.
No answer is better. Yeah.
Okay, so like to clarify, thank you. To clarify, I'm not like throwing shade at like Rem or like Tactica Imperial or any lore channels. I'm throwing shade at those YouTube commenters that are like, you make a joke and someone comes and goes, well, that's not exactly perfect as Lexicanum says it, so therefore dislike.
Yeah. When people try and point out that something's not a dinosaur,
Yeah, whereas
So yeah, okay. So we said ages ago in our Rogue Trader video, we made a joke about how Marnius Calgar had a writing desk that looked like a dinosaur. That was a dinosaur. We made a joke about it, and then when we
Aaron Dembski-Bowden literally agrees with this, so y'all can just...
But we did it. We then responded to that, like, 'cause people going, actually, it's an early Tyranid, and we were like, yeah, we know. And we responded to that in our second video. in the most recent White Dwarf, it explicitly refers to it as a dinosaur writing desk. We have been vindicated. We were right all along.
Yeah.
Your joke was accurate.
Our joke was accurate. And the thing is, they're also making a joke, yes. But apparently, you know...
You can't ever make jokes about it, because it's like, just because it literally looks exactly like a dinosaur, you're not allowed to call it that as a joke, or as kind of like a vehicle for your humour.
Yeah.
No, you have to refer to it as a proto-tyrannid, otherwise it's just not funny! Or something. But yeah, that's my idea for a 40k theme.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. All right, very last one for Murray. Just a quick shag, marry, avoid.
Okay.
Mainly for Wib, but if Snipe or the Matthew of Percussion want to chip in,
The
that's
Matthew
fine.
of Percussion is a good one.
Yeah. I wouldn't have read that sentence apart from Matthew of Percussion. So, Wib, you have Spock,
Okay.
Leonard Nimoy, Spock, Zachary Quinto, or
Okay.
Spock, Tom Peck.
That's the one who's playing it in Discovery, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
You are the one who has watched Discovery.
The
so
guy with the really cool pointy beard.
presumably.
He's also a NASCAR driver by the look of it.
No, it's just two Spocks and NASCAR driver. Did you mean Ethan Peck?
Yeah, his name's Ethan Peck.
Because Tom Peck is a NASCAR driver. So would you fuck
don't
that
marry a NASCAR
driver?
driver. They just go around in circles around the whole thing. It's just
Yeah, no, it's Ethan Peck who plays him in the...
But no, that's not what you were
okay.
asked. You were asked if you would fuck, marry, or kill Tom Peck, who is a NASCAR driver.
yeah, Leonard Nimoy playing Spock, Zachary Quinto playing Spock, or a NASCAR driver playing.
Okay, let's have
Sorry, Murray, we're not. It sounds like we're taking the piss.
And we are. There's so many different Tom Pecks.
Why are there so many Tom Pecks?
There's a picture of him there where he's just got a sticker over his face.
It's... Okay.
There he is. There's the daddy.
Okay, there he
He's
is.
on a trading card.
Okay.
He really likes wearing hats, apparently.
He's a NASCAR driver, they can't help it.
Really? Okay.
Okay. So, I think, you gotta marry Leonard Nimoy or Spock.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you gotta have that. And you know what? Zachary Quinto actually did a really good job.
I think, like acting-wise, and even visually, he's very, very close. To
Basically, nearly all the actors in the Kelvinverse, like Kelvin timeline stuff, are actually really good at playing the characters that they're supposed to be playing when they have good writing backing them up. Which is why Star Trek Beyond is quite good, and I totally believe them being the characters. Whereas the other ones just... They could be anyone, because they're just badly written movies.
I will say that I think casting Tom Peck, who is a NASCAR driver, as Spock was maybe a bit misinformed.
No, I like casting it.
It's just Spock with a hat is really weird.
Okay, I'm gonna work this. So, if we...
So I just imagine Spock, like, coming in, and he's got, like, the big fucking cap on, and he just gets out of a NASCAR, and it's like, I mean, I don't know what, like, accent that guy has, but I can guarantee you it's Southern American. And he's just like, well, you see, we gotta bring up the nacelles over there, and gotta get the Klingons. I'm gonna be honest, I desperately need this man to play Spock. Because it would change my life.
Okay, I'm just gonna go forth with this.
I'm not gonna get over this.
If we're dealing with Ethan Peck, then let's fuck Ethan Peck. He's Spock with a beard.
Something to hold on to.
And that means I'd have to avoid Zachary Quinto, though that's nothing against Zachary Quinto. However, if it's Tom Peck, the NASCAR driver playing Spock, then I'm afraid he's the one I'll have to avoid, and I'll fuck Zachary Quinto as Spock. Because I know nothing against Tom Peck, esteemed stock car, NASCAR, whatever the fucking hell.
He drives the big
The sport
car.
is called where they drive a car around a circle for 27 hours. I don't have a high opinion of NASCAR, does that show?
He just wants to make you happy by playing a character of your childhood, Spock, the Vulcan.
Well, I'm sorry, Tom Peck, but I don't think you're very good at it. As much as I do want to see it, but also I don't need that. I feel that this should now move on to another segment of another question.
Okay. 2 people left.
Okay.
First up, Seamus. I'm just going to ignore the laughing in the background.
That's probably for the best.
Probably fine. What is the worst thing you think the Emperor has stored away in his vault as a relic of humanity's greatest endeavours?
Tom Peck as Spock. Because he's definitely in the movie.
I personally think that he has kept all of the childhood drawings that the Primarchs have given to him.
And they all suck.
And they're all really bad, especially one by Perturabo that is just, like when a parent is like, I don't even want to put that on the fridge, it's that bad.
Yeah, my parents used to do that.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that he has in his, vault.
Okay.
Unless it's supposed to be specifically from, the Dark Age of technology. In which case, it's probably like a Gizmondo or something.
Ugh. Ugh.
Tamagotchi.
But yeah, and he still feels really bad because he kept letting it die. No. Big E would have a Digimon because it's about basically
Big E?
Yeah, Big E. The Big Imps.
Yeah, okay.
Daddy MP.
Fine, yeah, carry on.
Shut up. You don't have nicknames to the Emperor. That's a normal thing people do. He'd probably have a Digimon, because then you raise something, you care for it, you feed it, and then you fight it to the death.
Yeah, Digimon toys were amazing.
They were so good. My brother and I had, one, and they were amazing. So good. My brother kept making it, abusing them so that they would fire poop.
As you do.
Yeah, if you didn't take care of it, they turned into shit monsters for some reason.
And fired poops.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah, I'd say that he has he's got a really huge collection of 80s cartoons, but none of the good ones.
What? So he's got Centurion.
Yeah, he's got Centurion. A box set DVD of those.
And he's got fucking. Actually, know what I reckon he'll have? He'll have the complete boxed editions, mint in box, of all those really shitty early post-reboot CGI kids shows where they were all tie-ins to toy lines that no one remembers.
I think he's got a Chinese bootleg Peppa Pig shirt. Just one. Just the one. And it's way too small for him, and it's one of those really crappy white shirts with a square print, and it's got Gucci underneath it.
You know what he's got? I bet somewhere in his vault he's got that t-shirt of a pineapple wearing a thong with the word slut written underneath it.
Yeah, you know he's got season 1 to 69 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Because that's how long I hope it goes for, because it genuinely brings me joy. And
but also, if anyone wants to draw the Emperor wearing a t-shirt...
The pineapple with a pink thong with the word slut underneath it.
I'd be very grateful. Don't feel you need to you have to, but also if someone does that, that would be the greatest thing to ever come of this podcast.
I'm tempted to do it, but then I'd probably get death threats on Twitter for misunderstanding the law. No, the Emperor was not a slut.
He was, though.
He was, though.
The Sensei are a proof of that.
Yeah, Sensei are a proof of that, because he just randomly
totally
decided to slut it up and have loads of kids. But, I'm not saying that has any judgment on him morally. He was a really good slut. He was great at it.
Yeah.
He was slutting around like the sluttiest pineapple you ever did see.
And I've seen some pretty slutty pineapples.
And the Emperor tops all of them off.
What's the next question, Matthew?
Next up from Seamus, we've got 2 fuck, marry, kills.
Cool.
Okay.
So, first up, a Tau Aircast pilot,
Oh.
a Tau Earthcast scientist, and a Tau Watercast diplomat.
Kill the diplomat.
I mean, straight up, fuck the pilot, marry the scientist, kill the diplomat.
Yeah, same.
Straight up, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one's just got a correct answer.
Yeah, really.
Okay, next one, this one gets a little bit messy. So, we've got the Triumvirate of the Imperium.
Okay.
The Triumvirate of Yniad?
Yeah.
Never said that one out loud before. And the Triumvirate of the Primarch. So for those who don't know, me obviously not being included in a subset, the Triumvirate of the Imperium is Celestine, Greyfax and Cole. Triumvirate of Yniad is... Oh, more pronunciations.
It's usually you need. I've heard people pronounce that.
Yeah, you need... Okay,
What
you
do I
need...
need?
You've got the Avatar of you need. Visarch and Urvain,
Right,
the
yeah.
Eldars. And then the Triumvirate of the Primarch is Gilliman, Cypher, and Voldus. So you have to fuck, marry, kill...
This is weird because I'm technically in it.
Well, I
Yeah.
think, given that one of us plays the character and the other one is married to the person that plays the character, then we have to marry
Do you
one
want
with
to marry
Celestine in it.
Triumvirate of...
Triumvirate of the Imperium.
Yeah,
The
so
Imperium.
got to marry.
I don't know about you, but I really want to be involved in a gangbang with a Primarch.
Okay, so we're fucking
We have
Triumvirate
to.
of the Primarch.
Yeah.
Okay,
I want so many Eiffel Towers.
so we're killing the Eldar. Then,
Yeah,
basically.
sorry, Eldar.
Okay.
It's just...
I don't know, I'd go for the Eldar foursome.
Would you?
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
can see
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah, I can see
that.
that, but it's just like, I mean, come on. Primarch.
I mean, then I get to kill a Primarch, so double bonus.
Okay, it's like,
Yeah.
stop. Like, you honestly...
It's on brand.
I'm starting to feel that Clancy was written just because you're obsessed with killing a Primarch. Do you want me to go buy the Russ model from Forge World so you can just come over and play Iron Man 40k with me?
No. There's never a good situation to do that.
Okay, that's fair. Do you just want to break into Forge World and punch it off, like punch the Primarchs off their stands?
We're gonna go to Warhammer World with you someday, and you're gonna get kicked out because you just
'Cause you're, like,
slapping them all off the
Because you're
side.
acting like a cat in the fucking in a kitchen, just knocking all of the Primarchs off the shelves.
Yeah.
And then like they turn around and go, "Did you just do that?" And you're like, "No." And then while maintaining unbroken eye contact, you just pick up Horace
Do it again.
and throw him on the floor.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
I can see you doing it." And you're like, "Nuh-uh." Smash. There's Vulcan gone now.
Okay, very last question.
Okay.
Tom Mule. So fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
We have Ryan Gosling as Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
Danny DeVito as Detective Pikachu.
Right.
And Willem Dafoe as himself as Detective Pikachu.
Oh shit, that's not fair. I've got to kill Ryan Gosling.
We've got to
'Cause
kill. Yeah, I'm
we
sorry.
gotta kill- I'm
we've got to
sorry.
kill Ryan.
Yeah,
However,
it's-
I want to see how you feel about this.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
we want. I think we should marry Danny DeVito
I
as
think we
Detective
should
Pikachu.
do that
We should just
anyway.
marry Danny DeVito
Because
anyway.
he's amazing.
And fuck Willem Dafoe, despite Lars von Trier explicitly stating that he has a terrifyingly large penis.
Yeah, but who the fuck cares what Lars von Trier says because he's a prick anyway?
He isn't complete.
So I say, I don't care about anatomy. It's Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
So I think we've got to fuck Willem Dafoe and marry Danny DeVito and kill Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Because that's just, like, it's another question with the right answer.
That is just the right answer, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep. Okay. Good.
What a great question to end on.
That's a good end to the era of our lives that are dominated by fuck, marry, kills as well. I feel.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's end is a good end.
Good. Yes. Talking about Willem Dafoe's frighteningly large genitalia is where we wanted to end it.
I just want to think about Danny DeVito as Detective Pikachu. Mainly because my impersonation of Danny DeVito is literally my impersonation of Willem Dafoe and sounds nothing like Willem Dafoe and is like a weird, raspy New York accent.
I mean, in my head, Danny DeVito has just become Frank Reynolds from Always Sunny. So
See, he'll always be the Penguin and the brother from Twins for me.
yeah.
Because I grew up with like him just randomly doing loads of movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because that was just cool. That's just what he did. Also, Junior.
What other movies did he do with?
He did
Arnie?
Junior, and he did Twins. I'm sure they did another one or something together. I think they were mates, or they are mates, or something like that. But whatever, it's cool.
Okay. And so is that all of our questions done?
It is.
Okay, excellent. This is where the podcast ends then.
Yes. Thank you for listening. We have been us, you have been you, presumably. We don't like to assume. But just for ease of conversation, let's just say that that's how this went down. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, I guess.
Bye.
Are you okay?
No.
What?